The Dow surged more than 1,000 points today after President Trump backed off on his threat to attack Iran and agreed to a 2-week ceasefire. It is a pattern we've seen since the war's start. Drops and spikes in the stock market tied to threats and then pullbacks from President Trump. Financial Times commentator Robert Armstrong calls this the taco trade, a phrase he coined last year when the president threatened high tariffs. So Robert Armstrong joining us now with more on this. Hello, Robert. Thanks for joining us. First and foremost, can you explain the taco trade and what drives it, and explain taco in the first out the gate?
Well, taco means Trump always chickens out. And the taco trade is simply the idea that when the president makes a dramatic and frightening pronouncement and markets plunge, the natural trade is to buy the plunge, because when the president comes under political or economic pressure, he will back off from his threats. And this was most visible a year ago now, when he came out on early in April to threaten very draconian and arbitrarily applied tariffs. And then when the markets responded in horror and it became clear that the country was unhappy with this policy, he quickly started to mitigate his plans for trade policy.
So you first talked about this related to tariffs. So is the mentality the same for the war?
Well, I think the underlying reality is the same, which is that the president, in my view, does not have particularly strong strategic or political commitments. So when he comes under pressure from the electorate or from markets, he will always tend to back off. However, war is not trade, and this is a much more complicated, much more multilateral situation where the actions of other important and powerful players really matter. And we're already seeing that today. Trump is committed to the ceasefire, but Israel is attacking Lebanon. Iran says this is a violation. There are attacks on Saudi pipelines today. So it takes multiple players to coordinate in a war, whereas in tariff policy, what the president says goes.
Sure. And we're looking at the market right now. Are the markets now adjusting for this? And what are the implications for the economy overall?
I mean, I think it is difficult over the long run when it is hard to know what the president's policy is going to be. So what if markets are going to kind of reach their full potential and oil prices are going to normalize? We need people to have a sense of certainty about what the future is going to bring in the Middle East. And we don't have that now. And so we need to know what the plan is, not just this morning or this afternoon or this week or this month, but we need a view into the long-term future. And that's what we're really lacking right now.
Were you surprised this coined taco trade phrase took off?
Absolutely. I was taken by surprise by it. It was just something I sort of dashed off in a newsletter, but it was clearly a concept people wanted a label for. And it didn't hurt that the word sounds funny. You know, it has that funny K sound in it. It's vaguely Mexican, and the president is obsessed with the Mexican border. So it was a label the world needed. It was a little bit funny, and it just flew out of my hands before I knew what was happening.
And do you have a new one kind of that you're holding back
on? I wish. I need another one I can retire on. But you'll be the first to know when I come up with it.
I appreciate that. All right. Robert Armstrong. Robert, thank you.
Cheers.